What's up, everybody? John Maher from Why We Love Horror here, trying to catch up on a few of the things I've watched before we get into like a couple of weeks. We're going to get hit with a bunch of movies. So, a movie that I saw last week that I never got around to talking about is Abraham's Boys, a Dracula story. This is directed by Natasha Kermani, and you might know her as the director of Techno God from VHS 85 or for her other feature length film Lucky. Both things worth checking out if you haven't already. And this is also an adaptation of Joe Hill's Abraham's Boys, which is Stephen King's son, Joe Hill, if you don't know that. Um, a reimagining of the aftermath of Bram Stoker's Dracula, wherein Van Helsing has now married Mina. They've moved to America. They're in California, and we're not sure why. Like, there's conflicting of tales about why they left, if they left under bad circumstances, if they left under good circumstances. But let's throw up spoilers and talk about what we think is going on here. What if Dracula was just mass hysteria and there were no vampires, just people who thought other people were vampires, and they systematically killed people who were weird? That's kind of what Abraham's Boys talks about. It positions Abraham Van Helsing as a definitely psychopathic serial killer he definitely has his shit together. Like, he's got a full on belief system and worldview where people are vampires and he will kill vampires. If I had to frame it, I'd say Abraham's Boys feels a lot like if you took Dracula and Frailty and made a movie, because we're not sure if the dad is crazy or if there are really vampires. There's one way of looking at it, though the movie does ultimately land on the side of Abraham Van Helsing is a serial killer whose excuse is that he's ridding the world of vampires. And we find out that basically Mina Harker, who is his wife now, is kind of it's like a folie à deux, and she believes that she really was a thrall of a vampire, to the point that she basically allows herself to go under his care towards the movie. He keeps giving her increasingly more and more radical medical treatments, and she winds up passing away. He feels it's because there is a railroad being built near their town, so he automatically assumes that the rail surveyors are vampires. And Abraham's Boys refers to the fact that he is trying to raise his sons in the philosophy of being a Van Helsing, and they're kind of like, "Oh, I don't know, Dad, this kind of feels like bullshit." And therein lies the huge dilemma of the movie. Like, are they going to be crazy like Daddy, or are they going to rebel? I gotta say, in this movie, obviously Titus Welliver playing Abraham Van Helsing, and you've known him since Deadwood times. He is always bringing it, and he brings it in this role. I'm not gonna say they don't give him much to do. He's just playing a very reserved, like old school European Van Helsing character. So the character itself, there isn't much to do and like go nuts with, but he does play Van Helsing, I think, respectfully. We have Jocelyn Donahue from The House of the Devil playing Mina Harker. She does a great job in this movie. And the two boys, let's see, we got Brady Hepner and Judah Mackey, who do a great job as Max and Rudy. Rudy being the terrified younger brother, Max being the brother who is old enough to stand up to Abraham. I won't get into too much how it resolves. If you've read the story, you know. If you've seen the movie, you know. But let's get down to some ratings and see where I land on this movie. I would say it's not good or bad. I haven't really read the source material, but I know it's a short story, and I know the King family has always been plagued by people not really adapting their short stories very well. I think this falls into that category, but we're not in like Lawnmower Man 2 territory. We're in just kind of like middle of the road territory. Worth a watch. It's definitely an interesting conversation piece. I'm at 3 videotapes out of 5. And that'll do it for Why We Love Horror today. If you made it this far in the video, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Go to the Facebook group at Why We Love Horror. Check out the Letterboxd challenge here at this website. We're doing 52 prompts this year, 52 prompts the year before, and 52 prompts every year from here on out. 1 prompt a week. Join us on the Letterboxd challenge watch-along show every Thursday. And speaking of that, the schedule. Mondays, it's Versus. Will and I are going to review a bad horror movie every week, and Tuesday is Why Liv Loves Horror. My daughter will review an anime and their family horror movie every week. Wednesday is Aaron Unwinds. Aaron's been doing some lists lately. He'll probably get back to the Friday the 13th franchise in a few weeks. Thursday is the Why We Love Horror Letterboxd Challenge Watch Along show where every week we go over the prompt for that week. Friday, 2 episodes of Why We Love Horror Trivia, and these Why We Love Horror episodes, whenever we get to them, I'm definitely going to have I Know What You Did Last Summer and a few other things coming up soon. Stick around the channel and you'll see them drop eventually. Until next time, I'm JWMaher. This has been Why We Love Horror.